Summer vacation when your kids are home all day long is kind of like having guests staying at your house on their vacation while you're not on a vacation yourself. Everyone is excited and ready to have fun and party. Your guests want to have a great time, go to the beach, stay up past midnight on a Wednesday night, but you still have to wake up the next day at 5 in the morning and put in a full day of work. Your kids are the same. They're done with school and they're ready to have fun this summer, but you still have responsibilities and you can't just hang out with them all day long, and you can't cook amazing meals from scratch 3 times a day either. Just like when guests come to your house on their vacation, of course you want to spend as much time with them as you can. So I'm sure you have lots of amazing plans of fun things to do with your family this summer. So hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Olga from Olga's Flavor Factory. I want you to have fun with your family this summer and not just be cooking and cleaning all day long or frustrated that everyone's eating a bunch of junk food. Today I'm going to share some recipe ideas, things you can prep in advance, and lots of tips so you can still provide balanced meals for your family in as little time and effort as possible. My number one tip is to keep things simple. You do not have to make every single meal extravagant. I kind of go by the rule of cooking just one meal a day that requires more effort from me. Most of the time that is dinner for me, so I keep breakfast and lunch very easy. My husband and I love to go all out on the weekends and make an awesome breakfast. We take our time, we just enjoy it, we love breakfast food, but I think a lot of us expect to kind of have the same thing going on every day during the summer vacation when the kids are home and make those extravagant breakfasts every morning. But that is just too hard. If you're gonna be doing that, you're gonna burn out super fast. If you're gonna be making something like that for breakfast, pancakes and eggs or omelets or whatever, and then making something hot for dinner, and then if you do lunch too, you're gonna be at the stove all day long. That's why I like to make a lot of oatmeal, manna kasha, which is cream of wheat, or yogurt for my kids for breakfast. That's so easy, it's filling, and it doesn't take me long at all to make it, just a few minutes. Now my boys love banana pancakes, so I bet you they would love it if I'd make it every morning. But that means I'm standing at the stove, and even though it's a really easy recipe, just a few ingredients, it still requires for me to stand there and flip those pancakes for a while, and it still takes time. So I only make that once or twice a week, and the rest of the time, put it on the stove and make some kasha. Lunches in our family are super easy too, so a lot of time that's leftovers. Soup is awesome for lunch. I'll give you a lot more ideas later on about lunches, but like I said, I keep it very simple. I think that should be a general rule of thumb for cooking in the summer anyway. Just keep it as simple as possible. Along with keeping things simple, choose meals that take minimal prep and babysitting. And that is why I love making oatmeal so much. It's a nutritious breakfast, it will fill them up, they love it, and it takes me less than 5 minutes to put all the ingredients into the Instant Pot. I turn it on and leave the kitchen. If I cooked it on the stove, I have to stand there and watch, because if you walk away for a second, you know that milk is gonna run over, right? So this way I can just leave the kitchen, I can go and get myself ready for the day, make the bed, throw in a load of laundry, unload my dishwasher. All of those things can be done while the breakfast is getting ready. That saves me so much time, and it just makes my mornings flow so much better. Yogurt is another great one. I make a big batch that'll last us all week long, and it's great. And you can change things up with the way you serve the oatmeal and the yogurt by adding fruit to it one day, add peanut butter and bananas another day, some granola on top of the yogurt another day, so you can switch it up and it doesn't seem like you're eating the same thing every day. And I've noticed that with my kids, and even for myself, I can eat the same things for breakfast several days in a row, and I don't mind it as much because we usually have something different for dinner. So it doesn't feel like we're eating the same thing over and over again. And my kids love routine, they thrive on it, they love eating the same stuff every day. So it definitely makes my life as a mom easier. Besides the oatmeal and the yogurt, there's so many other things that you can prep really quickly, put it in the oven and let it cook, or in the Instant Pot or whatever, and you're getting yourself ready for the day. and your breakfast is getting cooked at the same time. So lots of egg dishes, like you can make an omelet in the oven. I have a really easy recipe on my website that's a puffy omelet. You can just put it in the oven and it cooks. The eggs turn out so tender. It's just so easy. There's only eggs and milk, salt and pepper in that recipe, unless you want to add anything else to it, but it's so good just like that on its own. Like I said, I put it in the oven and go get myself ready. You can also make a frittata. There's so many different varieties that you could make. Add any kind of vegetables or things that you want to add to the eggs. Put it in the oven and let it cook. Make some baked oatmeal. My kids love that as well. So they really like banana baked oatmeal or apple baked oatmeal. It's so easy. Also, I just mix it up really quickly while they're still sleeping. I stick it in the oven and the house smells so good when they wake up and wander into the kitchen. Breakfast is ready. The house smells good. It just feels so welcoming and took me less than 5 minutes of work. Even though I try to limit how much I use the oven during the summer months because it does make your house really hot, I think it's totally worth heating up the house. Plus we have AC because it's worth it for those meals that take so little prep. I can just season something really quickly, get it in the oven. It does all the work for me. Plus, a lot of times those meals, I can use those leftovers the next day and I don't have to cook because I can use them in another way. And that saves me time the next day. Some examples are a whole roasted chicken with potatoes, or some sort of roast with vegetables, pulled pork. You can also roast a whole fish in the oven, like a whole salmon fillet, or make fish in parchment paper. Chicken wings are another great option. You can marinate them in the morning and then at dinner time, just put it on a sheet pan and get it baked. And sheet pan dinners are also great. So you could do a sheet pan dinner that's kind of like a stir fry where you have chicken and vegetables or shrimp, bake it all in the oven at the same time. I have another sheet pan recipe where I use potatoes and sausage and mushrooms and bell peppers. So delicious. And like I said, you throw everything into the oven. It's so easy and fast. So those are all great options, and I have all those recipes on my website. I try not to spend too much time in this area of my kitchen at the stove because it's just so hot. And it usually takes a little bit longer to cook here. But there are certain things that I do cook and it's totally worth some time at the stove because it saves me a lot more time in the long run. So I'm making chicken fritters today and they reheat really well. So anything that reheats really well, I make a lot of in the summers because tomorrow I won't have to cook at all. Or it's gonna make a really great lunch for my kids and myself. I can give it to my husband for lunch or whatever. So if it can save me time in the future, then it's worth the time that I spend here at the stove. They are fantastic on sandwiches too. So get a brioche bun, put the chicken fritter on it, add some tomatoes, some lettuce, whatever, your favorite toppings for a sandwich, and it's one of the best chicken sandwiches you'll ever have. Even though soup is warm, we love it in our family, and I make it all year long, even in the summer, although I do like to make cold soups in the summer too. Lots of vegetable soups because that's when vegetables are in season. So it's a really easy way for me to get lots of nutrients into my children. Soup is very easy to make, and I know that I have a healthy lunch for my kids for a few days at least. Using these recipes helps me to have a lot of food on hand for hungry people in the house, and it also lets me get a lot of time off from the kitchen as well. Use your appliances like your Instant Pot, your air fryer, slow cooker, and the grill to keep your kitchen cooler. And usually those meals are really easy to make too, so it's a win-win. Slow cooker meals are awesome because you can add all the ingredients in the morning and you don't have to think about dinner for the rest of the day. It's taken care of, you got it done. You can go to the beach, take your kids somewhere, go hang out all day or do your work. And then once dinner rolls around, it's all done for you. You take it out, the house smells amazing. So slow cookers are awesome for the summer. The Instant Pot and air fryer give you tons of options of meals that cook so quickly and are delicious and satisfying too. Stuffed peppers, chicken tenders, a roast with vegetables, pulled pork, ribs in your Instant Pot and then put it on the grill, cheeseburger pasta, macaroni and cheese, braised potatoes with chicken or sausage, soups as well as corn on the cob, hard-boiled eggs, baked potatoes, I mean, the possibilities are endless. If you need some recipe ideas, I have lots that you can try on my website. Some of you may not want to hear this one, but plan and prep in advance. I know that we all need a vacation, and I think in the summer it's so hard to think about food and planning and prepping for all of that. We're mentally so exhausted, and I think after a whole year of the kids being in school, we just want to mentally check out. Wouldn't it be great if we could just postpone cooking until the kids are back in school? That's not really realistic, but I do highly recommend that you go out to eat so you get time away from the kitchen. And that's why leftovers are awesome in the summer, so you can take some time off too. You can't check out completely, but if you don't take time to plan, then you're gonna be so frustrated and worn out. Kids can graze on whatever they can find in the pantry, in the fridge, and just be eating junk food all day. That's not good for them. You're gonna be frustrated. Plus, you're gonna spend a ton more money on groceries because those conveniently wrapped packages and snacks cost a lot. Grab a piece of paper and just jot down some ideas of things that you can cook that are easy, that you know everybody will enjoy. Write down some snack ideas, easy breakfasts and lunches. That way you have a plan, you know what to buy, and you know what your kids are gonna eat. I promise you'll be so glad that you did this. Taking 15 minutes just one time a week to jot down some ideas is gonna save you so much time, so much energy, and so much money the rest of the week. Prepping in advance makes the biggest difference. It's a game changer, and it doesn't have to take a lot of time either. On my website, I'll give you all the links to all these recipes that I'm sharing, and I'll give you lots of ideas for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks so that you can go there and just get some ideas for yourself that you can use. Here are some of my favorite things that you can prep in advance. Hard-boiled eggs are awesome. They're so easy to make. You can make a big batch of them, store them in your refrigerator. They're a great breakfast, lunch, or snack. Your family can eat them just like that, or you can add them on top of salads and lots of other things too. I already mentioned yogurt and oatmeal. You can make a big batch of both of those and just eat them throughout the week. Oatmeal takes just a few minutes to reheat. Or you can make overnight oats, and those are the ones that you soak in the refrigerator overnight. It's really delicious and it tastes like a dessert, honestly. Muffins, you can make regular muffins with blueberries, strawberries, banana muffins, all kinds of muffins. You can make a big batch of those as well and serve it for breakfast along with some yogurt or fruit, or give it to your kids for lunch. It's a great snack. You can give it to your kids for breakfast along with some fruit and yogurt, serve it as a snack. The muffins will last you for days, or you can even freeze them. Muffins freeze really well. I recently shared a recipe for egg muffins. You can add so many different things to those muffins: spinach, mushrooms, all kinds of different vegetables, ham, bacon, sausage. So you can make a batch of those and just reheat them throughout the week, or freeze them as well. They also freeze great. So those are so easy. I also love making breakfast burritos in advance. Breakfast burritos also freeze really well. You can wrap them up individually, and then everybody can just grab one out of the freezer whenever you need a quick breakfast option, or make a big batch, store them in your refrigerator, and then they can just take it out and reheat it in the mornings. I like to wrap each burrito individually. That way they're gonna stay the most airtight. And also it's easy to just grab one or as many as you need. You don't have to take out the whole entire package of the burritos. So what I like to do is first wrap them in a layer of paper towel or parchment paper, because this will absorb any excess moisture, especially when you're thawing them. And that way the tortillas don't get all soggy. So I'll wrap them up in a paper towel like this, or in parchment paper, just like that as well. So do the same way with the parchment paper, just roll it up and then wrap it in foil. And then I'll place as many as will fit inside a freezer bag and store it in my freezer for up to 3 months. Cold salads are an awesome option to serve for lunch during the summer. First of all, they're cold, so it's really great when you can have something refreshing like that throughout the summer and not eat something hot. And also you can make them in advance. Make a big bowl of a salad, and then people can just have it for lunch for days. Tuna salad is something you can make right then and there because it's so easy. You literally just mix up some tuna with some celery, some fresh herbs, some mayo and mustard. You can add a hard-boiled egg in there. It's so easy, and you can make a big batch of it and just have it for lunch throughout the week. Egg salad is another one. If you have those hard-boiled eggs on hand, make an egg salad. It's so good, so easy. Potato salad is another option. If you're Russian and your family likes oливье or vinaigrette, those are great options that you can make ahead of time and they can just serve themselves for lunch. Pasta salad, it's popular for a reason because it's so good. There's so many different variations that you can make with it, and it tastes better the next day anyway. So that's another cold salad that you'll want to have in your fridge. Wash and cut up some fresh fruits and vegetables that your kids can have for lunch or for a snack. Or if your kids like salads, cut up some vegetables, get some lettuce prepped so they can make a salad really easily. Anytime fresh fruit is washed, cut up, and ready to eat, it makes it so much easier for kids to snack on something healthy, and it'll make sure that you're eating all that fresh fruit that you're buying and it won't go to waste. Grilled chicken is another great lunch option. You can serve it with some pasta or rice. It's so easy to cook those, and if the chicken is already cooked, then you can just cut it up, reheat it, or just leave it cold, put it on top of a salad. There's so many things you can make with grilled chicken. I also really like having some cooked vegetables or mushrooms. Either we made a lot on the grill and just make extra, or roast it in the oven, or do it on the skillet. And that way you can add it to lots of different things like pasta or rice, same as the grilled chicken, or even add it to your omelets or make a frittata with it. If you have those things in the fridge, you can bulk up so many meals in a really, really easy way. Another thing that I love to prep in advance is to marinate things either the night before or in the morning. My favorite part about this is that I don't have to think about what I'm serving for dinner that whole day. And secondly, it's gonna make your food taste better. Anytime you marinate meat longer, it just gets so much more flavorful, so win-win. Then all you have to do is put your meat into the Instant Pot, the oven, or on the grill, and dinner is halfway done. All you have to do is make a salad or something. One of my favorite things that I prep all year long are crepes, either sweet or savory crepes. So we love nalistniki in our house. That's with a sweet cheese filling. Or chicken and mushroom crepes. We love those too. Or if you don't like mushrooms, just do the chicken. It's so good. You can make those in advance. You can put them in your freezer. And it's so easy to just reheat them when you're ready to eat. You can also make tacos. So much of the taco things you can make in advance. You can put your chicken in the Instant Pot or the slow cooker, or use leftover grilled chicken. You can brown up some ground beef or ground turkey or whatever you use for taco meat. Most people love tacos. They're so satisfying, and all of those fresh components that go on top of them make them perfect for summers. Most of the time, I don't prep for hours. I simply make more when I know that it's a food I can repurpose or that it reheats really well. I'm making some meatballs right now, and I love just baking them in the oven. So I get a large sheet pan like this, line it with foil, and then I portion out the meatballs. I like to make small ones like this. And then I just put them on the baking sheet and they bake all at the same time. It's so much easier than doing it on the stove. And since I just use these for my kids' lunches, I'll mix it up with some pasta or rice, or throw them in with some sauce. It really doesn't matter that they're not golden and crisp on the outside. They're gonna be a little bit pale, which I don't care because, like I said, I'm gonna mix it up with some sauces. I really like this recipe. It's kind of my go-to for beef meatballs, but I do this with chicken meatballs as well. Just bake them in the oven, and I have a recipe for cheesy chicken meatballs that is so good. I put cheese on top, so they do get nice and crunchy and golden and cheesy. So good. It's a favorite. And then these beef meatballs, I'll serve them with like a mushroom stroganoff sauce. That is so delicious with some mashed potatoes. I also have another recipe for honey garlic glazed meatballs that these are awesome with. Obviously, tomato sauce works really well with them. What's nice about these is that I can bake a big batch and they freeze so well. So I freeze them in a freezer Ziploc bag or some kind of an airtight container. and I store them in my freezer, and then all I have to do is take out however many meatballs I need, like sort of like pilmeni, if you're familiar with those. Freeze them individually. After they're baked, I'll put them on a big cutting board or even on a baking sheet, line it with parchment paper and put them in one single row. Let them freeze until they're all individually frozen, and then I just stack them on one freezer Ziploc bag, and then I can pull out as many as I need or just a few. Just make extra when you're making dinner anyway, that way you don't have to find extra time to make things in advance. Limit buying the things that you don't want your kids eating. This is kind of obvious, but if it's not in your house, they're not gonna eat it. Or buy a small amount so they can just enjoy it, and then they're not tempted by that giant bulk package of potato chips or cookies in your pantry that's just tempting them. Some of the things that I like to give my kids as a snack are cut up fruits and vegetables, like I already mentioned, pretzels, crackers, cottage cheese, cheese sticks, cheese slices. I'll give you a list of snack options and other ideas on my website as well. If you have older kids, give them some responsibility with the cooking. They can easily reheat almost all of the things that I mentioned that you can prep in advance or leftovers. They can help to feed the younger siblings, portion out some cottage cheese or yogurt or fruit for their younger siblings. You can have your kids helping clean up the house, put the dishes away, set the table, help with the cooking. Summer is a great time to learn some skills and practice. You can give older kids simple recipes that they can follow, and they'll probably enjoy doing it too. Start them young with your supervision when they think cooking is so much fun and they really enjoy helping you in the kitchen. Now, of course, that's not gonna happen every day. Like I said, we have things to do as moms. We don't always have the time to be cooking with our kids. But if you have a little bit of extra time, let them help you. It's gonna pay off. And when they're teenagers, you're gonna be so glad you took the time to teach them to cook. Plus, cooking is a really great life skill that every person needs to know how to do. It's not gonna be perfect. It's probably gonna be a lot messier to cook with them than by yourself. They're not gonna clean perfectly either, but it's a great way for them to learn. They're gonna be proud of themselves. It's gonna be something productive they can do with their times that's gonna benefit the whole family, and it's gonna pay off in the long run. You absolutely do not have to cook everything from scratch either. Buy convenience items at the store too. If there are some things that your family already loves, this is the time to stock up on them to make your life easier this summer. So let me show you a few things that we like to buy in our family. And I like to keep my freezer stocked, my pantry and my fridge. So anytime I need a quick meal, I've got things in the house ready to go. First of all, we have pilmeni. My boys love these. This is a really quick lunch or dinner. We can eat them too for dinner. So this is a really easy one. I always have some in my freezer. Then this one from Costco is smoked pulled pork. This is so good. We can make barbecue sandwiches with this, add it to some pasta. Obviously, pulled pork is great on tacos, nachos, lots of different things. So this is a nice one to have as well. And there's a lot of meat in here, so it's perfect if you have a big party or it makes several meals for our family. And these are also one of our favorites from Costco, the chicken and apple sausages. They're so delicious on the grill, on the skillet, in the oven. You can cut up some fresh vegetables like bell peppers, onions, mushrooms, add some tomato sauce, serve it over pasta or rice. I also make a braised potato dish out of this, or a sheet pan dinner with potatoes. It's great. Hash browns are of course great for breakfast, makes it really quick, and sometimes I'll even add them to egg muffins, which is great. So this is a nice one to have for breakfast. This is our favorite store-bought tomato sauce. It's delicious. There's so many different things you can make with it. And guess what? You don't have to make homemade tomato sauce every time. I make a delicious homemade tomato sauce, but that doesn't mean I don't have store-bought tomato sauce in my pantry too. And I'm not apologizing for it, and I'm not embarrassed about it. You can pick up other sauces that are great shortcut ingredients to have in your kitchen. For example, pesto sauce is another one. You can add it to different appetizers on top of fish or chicken. So lots of different options, and half of the cooking is done for you. Another thing I always have in my freezer in the summers is Frozen fruit. Even though fruit is in season right now, I like to have frozen fruit because it's so nice to make smoothies, to make different types of healthy ice creams for my kids. So strawberries are one of our favorites. We also have mangoes. Mango is another favorite with my kids. And then when we go strawberry picking or blueberry picking, I'll freeze a lot of that too so that we can use it in baking. And like I said, all of those refreshing things are so nice to enjoy during the summer months when it's really hot. So we make these all the time in the summer. Give yourself permission to use these shortcut ingredients from the store in your kitchen in the summer much more often so that you have more time to be outside and playing with your kids and having fun with your family. Stock up on the things that you love and enjoy with your family, and then ask your friends and see what they're buying so you can get some more ideas too. Lastly, and most importantly, give yourself some grace and have fun with your family. Summers with your kids are limited and they go by way too fast. The priority is always to build memories and focus on relationships. I wish you all the very best, and I hope that these tips will help give you more time with your loved ones so that you can have more brain space to laugh at your kids' jokes and watch them play and be able to join in, not just watch from the kitchen window. With a little bit of planning, you can still provide healthy meals, get some of your work done, and have time to go on outings, campouts, enjoy the outdoors, and wear out your swimming suit. I want to help make cooking work around your life, not the other way around. So go and have fun with your family this summer.